Right, which of the following graphs contain a loop? A loop is when you have a point and it just goes back to itself, and there's only one that has that, and that's that loop there. So the answer is B. Okay, so we need to know about the degree of the vertex. So whenever you're doing a degree, just draw a little circle around it. I've crossed 3 lines, yes? And it's symmetrical, so there's 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, 4 times 3, sum is 12. This one I've crossed 2 lines, and if I do the same for each one, I have 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Well, that's 6 times 2, that equals 12. So the sum of the degree of this one is 12, and the sum of the degree of this one is 12, so they're equal. The answer is C. Okay, this is an adjacency matrix. They've done the diagonal for us first already, but we can see from W to W we can do, and Z to Z we can do. That's why we got the 1 and the 1 here. We need to look at the other ones. So W to X, 1, 2, so that's 2, but that means also X to W is also 2. It's symmetrical, there's no arrows on any of the edges. W to Y, 1, 2, so that's also 2, so that must be 2. And W to Z, there's 1, so we can do 1. Y to X, that's 1, which means X to Y is 1. What we've got left, X to Z, that looks like 1, which means Z to X is 1, and then Y to Z, 1 and 1. And again, it's a 4x4, so right, there are 16 elements. Of the 12 missing elements, so we've got to make sure we don't include anything we've done before, so get rid of all of the diagonal ones. It says 8 are 1, well there's 4 ones and 4, yeah, that looks like that's actually the answer straight away, there we go. Looks like the answer for question number 3, A. Alright, looks like we've got critical path analysis here because it's about a project and the time to complete the whole project. So we've got to draw boxes at every single one of these nodes. Try and draw them nice and big. That one's for there. That one's for there. I think I've got everyone there. Now, I always do forward plus is we're at the max and we're adding. So we start at the start and we do 0. There's only one way to get to this B, so we're going to put 0 plus 4 is 4. For C, 0 plus 4 is 4. But coming up here, we've got along activity D, we've got 4 plus 5. That gives me 9. I'm just going to balance that out against the 0 plus the 10, which is here from the A. So we've got 10 at the top here. Now, let's keep going here. So let's look at E. E is 4 plus 4, which is 8. I can't do anything because we need to get activity H here. So let's go down to activity F. 4 plus 6 is 10, but we've still got to look at some other things. So going down the bottom, still 4 plus 3 is 7. There's only one way into that node. That gives us now going up through I. 7 plus 2 is 9. So we choose the biggest one, which is 10. 10 plus 3 is 13. So the biggest one going in there is 13. Now coming back down through activity L, 10 plus 6 is 16. And 13 plus 4 is 17. We're still got to finish off this bottom here. So we got 7 plus 5 down the bottom for the 12. And then from the 10 plus the 1 is 11. So the biggest number is 12. Going up, 12 plus 3 is 15. There's only one way in. 15 plus 1 is 16. So the answer is 17. That's just on our forward pass. But the question is actually asking is, what is the earliest starting time for N? Now, grab my highlighter pen. Where's activity N on this diagram? It is here. So if we look at the box at the beginning of n, this number here, we can see it is 12. And that means that the answer is D12. Remember, the earliest starting time is this first box. The first number in your box is your EST. Okay, and the second number in the box, that's your latest starting time for activity n, because it's at the beginning of n. But at the end of n, this would be the earliest finish time, and this one would be the latest finish time. All right. Okay, so from question 4 we did the forward pass, but now we've got to do the backward pass, which is minimum, and subtracting. So you're going to do 17 here. We go back down the arrow, that's -1, 16. Back down the arrow, -3, 13. Now, okay, so we're going to continue our critical path analysis from question 4. So now we're going the backward pass, and we're looking for the minimum, and we're subtracting. So we start at the finish, because we're going backwards, I'm going against the arrows. So if you think 17 minus 6 is 11, we can go back against the arrow in the middle here. So 17 minus 4 is 13. So it looks like the critical path is going through the middle there. But let's just check everything, be thorough. 17 minus 1 is 16. There's only one arrow going backwards down the bottom, so that's 16 minus 3 is 13. And let's have a look at also going down into this one, but you can go backwards this way and backwards this way, can't we? So 13 minus 3 is 10, but 13 minus 1 is 12, so we choose the smallest of those two values. Now going back to the bottom again here, so 13 minus 5 is 8, but 10 minus 2 is also 8, so we get 8 as the two options going in there. 10 minus 6 gives us 4, 8 minus 3 gives us 5, so that's going to be 4 there. And well, 4 minus 4 gives us 0, so we can see that the 0 is coming in there. Let's just finish off and make sure we're doing everything right. Let's go right back to the top. We've got 11 minus 9, that's 2. Then we've got 13 minus 4, which is 9. We've got to double check. Oh, hang on, that wasn't 2. That's 11 minus 5, which is 6. That's better. So we choose 6, and then we got 11 minus 10, which is 1, and then we've got 6 minus 4, which is 2. So definitely 0 was the correct choice. I'm going to grab the highlighter pen and show what the critical path is. So we've got to make sure we connect up all the nodes that have a no difference between these two numbers. So there's no float or slack time, depending on what you want to call it. So it looks like the critical path is this, and we've covered every node there. So our activities are C, F, H, and M. That's 4 activities, which looks like the answer is C. Only half of people got that. I don't think that's particularly hard. It just has to be sort of systematic with these things. Can be tricky. You saw even I made a mistake there on the activity D. So just be careful with your numbering. Use a different color pen and just lots of practice.